If you're taking notes, or if you got your Bible with you, we're going to be in Colossians 3, and we're going to be reading 1 through 4 right now. So, and it goes this. So if you have been raised with Christ, seek the things above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you will also appear with him in glory. Let's pray. Dear God, we love you. We thank you for everything that you're doing here in YTH, God. I just pray that you clear our minds of any distractions that's going on. Let us just focus on you tonight, God. Let us focus on you and everything that you do tonight. All the negative emotions going on, all the drama that's going on, doesn't matter, because tonight we're focusing on you. Not the person to our left or to our right, or what happened at school today, or what's going to happen tomorrow. Let's use this special time that we have in your house to hear your word, God. Use me tonight as a weapon. Give me the wisdom and the words to speak this message tonight, God. We thank you and we love you for everything that you're doing. All glory goes to you. In your name we pray. YTH says, Amen. Amen. Hey, if you're taking notes tonight, you can title this message, Put Off and Put On. Say, put off. Now say, put on. We're going to put off and put on. I'm excited for this message tonight. But before we even go any deeper, I just have a question. Has your parents or your mom, usually it's moms that do this, have they ever been like, just judging what you're wearing? Yeah. Like, you're about to walk out of the house, go to school, and you're like, bye, Mom. And your mom's like, have a good day. And then she looks at you, she's like, get back inside, change. What are you wearing? You look ridiculous. Like, hands up, anybody ever, like, yeah, that happened to me. I remember specifically one time this happened in my life. It happened a lot in 9th grade. I had this shirt, and it was the coolest shirt known to man. Like, I got it at American Eagle, because that was cool back then. And I was like, yo, this is so awesome. And I put this shirt on, and I'm about to walk out the house, and my mom's like, Clarence Elmer Simpson the fourth. And I'm like, what, you don't bring out my whole name, what's going on here? And she's like, take that shirt off, you look ridiculous. And I'm like, Mom, this is cool, what do you mean? I look super fly right now. That was the word back then, swag, if you will. Like, swag was, I think I have a picture for you guys so I can embarrass myself real quick with you. Hey. Yo, it had a big Y on it. And I was like, this goes hard, bro. I don't know why I bought this, but it goes so hard. And my mom, she's like, judging me hardcore. She's like, Clarence, please don't wear that shirt. And I'm like, Mom, this is what's cool right now. The kids, like, my friends love this shirt. And she's like, I don't care, go change, go put a button-up shirt on. I'm like, whatever, Mom, okay. And little did she know, I put that shirt in my backpack and just changed that. That's cool. Like we all have at one time in our life, you know. And man, I wish I still had that shirt, because honestly, it was the best shirt. I have no idea why, like literally why. There's a big Y on the shirt, but I was like, this is the coolest shirt I've ever seen in my life. I'm so excited to wear this. But and I think back to this, and I'm like, man, maybe I should have listened to my mom. Looking back at that picture, I'm like, didn't really think this out, did I? Who let me take a selfie in front of a mirror that was super dirty with my white shirt? And I thought I had the gains back then. I was like, let me flick a little bit for you. This camera for my 3 Facebook friends, you know? Because we didn't have Instagram back then. Oh, I sound very old. Oh my gosh. Instagram came out the year after, okay? But I was so caught up in trying to fit in and trying to be so like cool, like everybody else at school, like, hey, we're all wearing graphic tees that make no sense. I was like, oh, sick, let me get in on this. And I look back, I'm like, I should have listened to my mom. It would have saved me a lot of embarrassment. It would have saved me a lot of embarrassment and probably some money, okay? That shirt probably cost me like $30 back then. And little did I know that I was broke back then, you know what I'm saying? So I was just so caught up in just trying to fit in, trying to find, well, this series is about my identity. I was trying to fit in so much that I was just going to buy these clothes. I was like, yeah, this is sick. I'll do this. I have no idea what it means, but I'm going to wear it. And I love what Paul is saying in Colossians 3. What we just read. And he's basically saying, hey, if you're serious about living this new life with Christ, then act like it. He's straight up saying, then act like it if you're actually serious about doing this and living this life. We need to pursue the things which Christ proceeds over, which Christ is over. We don't need to shuffle along with our eyes to the ground, like kicking the dirt, and we're just absorbed with what's in front of us at the time. I feel like a lot of us would just do that. Through the schools, through at home, whatever, we're just walking through life, not actually seeing what's going on. We're just, oh yeah, this is cool. Oh, this is what's in style. Let me put this on. Let me go with this. We're absorbed with so much stuff that's happening in this world, with our friends, with this culture. And what the thing is, we need to look up and be alert what's actually happening around us. We need to see things from God's perspective. From God's perspective in our lives. And again, so many times we literally just walk around. I used to do it all the time. I still catch myself doing it. I'll just be like, be bopping around, you know, and not caring at all about what's going on. And I think back, I'm like, my mom, she knew at that point. She knew, she's like, Clarence, I'm trying to save you, bro. My mom, she was always trying to be cool, so she'd be like, bro, what's up? See ya, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, Mom, what are you saying? But my mom knew, because she had the wisdom. She's like, hey, Clarence, like, there's something better for you. Like, you don't have to wear this trash shirt. And I was like, but I want to wear this trash shirt. And it's so much like our lives. There's so much better for you out there. We don't need to find our identity in this world and everything that else has in it. Because honestly, compared to God, it's trash. If we're being honest. It's trash. And God just wants us to see through his perspective in the life that we have. Just to see a little bit, like, hey, I just want you to shift your focus to what I have in store for you. He has called us to live a life that seeks the things above this world. In Colossians 3, 5 through 10, it says this. Therefore, you know it's getting real when I said therefore. Therefore, put to death what belongs to your earthly nature. Sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desire, and greed, which is idolatry. Because of these things, God's wrath is coming upon the disobedient. And you once walked in these things when you were living in them. When you were living in them. But now, put away all of the following. Put away all of the following. Anger, wrath, malice, slander, and filthy language from your mouth. Do not lie to one another, since you have put off the old self with its practices, and have put on the new self. You are being renewed in knowledge according to the image of your Creator. And it's because we understand the fact that we can put to death these things. God's saying, hey, put to death. Paul's telling us to put to death the things in our life that are against our identity with Jesus. What's against your identity with Jesus? What's the battlefield that's going so hard in your mind and saying, man, do I choose this or do I choose Jesus? What are we battling so much about? And when I say put to death, we mean this in a sense of denying these things. Denying these things and considering them dead to us. Like, this is dead. I'm not messing with this anymore. Like, it's out of my life. It's gone forever. I'm denying it. It will not come back. And Paul says this in that list. The little sins that get us anger, wrath, malice, slander, filthy language, and lying. He says those little sins, he's saying to put those away. And you're thinking, those are little. Those are little sins. What do you mean? Like, there's bigger stuff out there that I need to probably put away. Yes, but those bigger things come from those little sins. They come from the little things in your life that are on the back of your mind that you're not paying any attention to because it only happens every once in a while. But those grow up to be so much bigger and such a big problem in your own life. In your own life. And what Paul's telling us to do, he's telling us to put all those old habits, the anger, the filthy language, the lying, he's telling us to put them away. Just as you get rid of old clothes. As you get rid of old clothes, like this thing barely fits me. This thing barely fits me. I'm like, you know what? Let me take this thing off. Let me take this thing off. The things of my life that no longer matter right here. The things like anger and wrath. It was on the back. You didn't even notice it. You didn't even notice that it was actually bothering me and actually on the back of my mind because it's so little in your head and you're thinking about it. It's the little sins that are going to cause the big disruptions and the mental health issues and the sin and the enemy to come into your mind and take over. So he's saying, put it away. Deny it. Kill it. See ya. Let me step on it a little bit. Curbs up. You know? Hurt my knee a little bit. He's saying, deny it. It's old. This is the old self. We're getting rid of it even though it's cool. And it's trendy, and everyone's doing it and loves it, and that's their identity, is in this earthly life right here. But God's telling us, put away. Put away. Say, put away. Put away, because you've outgrown it. You've outgrown it. God has something new for you. You've outgrown the old self. You've outgrown this earthly ways. God has something so much more for you. His identity he has for you is so much greater than these little sins that are corrupting you and taking over. And the sins that just mentioned are part of the world. It's how the world lives. But it's not how Jesus lives. It's not how he lives. And Paul challenges us again to put off our old selves in every area of your lives. In every area. Then he continues to tell us in Colossians. He says, and you have to put on the new self. We have to put on the new self. You are being renewed in knowledge according to the image of your Creator. So now, I got no jacket. I'm freezing up here, okay? I'm freezing. Like some of you guys like hoodie season, you know? Like the temperature dropped below 90, and now everyone's got a hoodie on. You know what I mean? But we need something to replace what we just got rid of. We need something to replace our old identity. And that's what exactly they're telling us. Hey, you have to put on a new self now. You have to put on a new self. Colossians 3:12 through 14 says this. Therefore, another therefore. Therefore, as God's chosen ones. Let's stop right there. God's chosen ones. I love when they say that because it's so true. You are God's chosen ones. He has something so special for you and only you. And you've been chosen for that special assignment that he has for you. And this identity that he has for you. And this life that he has for you. I love how he words that. As God's chosen ones. Holy and dearly loved. Put on compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bearing with one another and forgiving one another if anyone has a grievance against another. Just as the Lord has forgiven you, so you are also to forgive. And above all, put on love, which is the perfect bond of unity. As we put off, we must put on. So now we're like, okay, God, I need a new identity. What you got for me? And now you're searching. Again, what we talked about last week, you've got that void inside, you've got that hole that needs identity. That you're searching for it, and you're just looking for what you got. So I brought my closet over here. And God's like, is this exactly how we are? Like, man, what identity am I going to pick now? I got rid of my old self, as I thought, and now I'm going to move on to pick something new. But there's so many things that we can choose from. But God has a specific one just for you. So you're like, looking at this jacket, like, yo, this kind of looks like my old jacket. This kind of nice. This kind of nice. This is that workwear. This is still kind of cool, you know? And you're like trying to put it on and everything. You're like, yo, this is sick, bro. This is awesome. And you're like, wait a second. Ooh, this is kind of heavy. Why am I sweating? Why am I sweating? Because it's not the same as what you got rid of. It's not the same jacket that you got rid of. God's trying to replace this with something even better. This isn't going to fit me. This might fit somebody else, though. That's not going to fit me. So we're searching. Look at this. This is a nice identity. This is a nice identity, but it's not going to work because this is a seasonal one. This is a seasonal one. This is one I put on when it rains. That when I'm low, I put this on. It doesn't work for every season. But God has an identity for you that works in every season. Oh, this one clean. That's that YTH leader, bro. You know what? Yeah, I love YTH. I might make YTH my identity. I might make YTH my identity. I go to church. I love everything about it. But are you living it? Are you living the way that God told you? Did God tell you, hey, put on YTH? Or did he say, hey, no, put on compassion. Put on kindness. We need to do what God tells us, not just what our church tells us to put on. We can't find our identity in YTH. Because eventually, you graduate, right? We don't need super seniors in here. There's no super seniors. I just wouldn't make it. Oh, snap. Not the Dickies jacket ball. Oh, my gosh. Let me drop a band on this real quick. Wait. That's how people be getting them, like, worn and ready to go. I don't know workwear, man. It's just a thing. You're like, yo, this is very similar, God, to what I just wore, except it's newer. You want me to put something new on, right? He wanted you to put something new on, but not something new that's the culture, and that's going to eventually be the same exact thing that you just put away. It's going to be the same exact thing that I put away. This is what this jacket's going to be, even though it's just as warm as that other one. It's just a little newer. That's not the right one. Now this one, I wouldn't wear this. This looks like someone's grandpa died in it. Funny story, he did actually die in this. I got this at a thrift store. I call it HG Thrift. And I literally put it on, and a week later, someone came up to me, he's like, yo, where'd you get that jacket? And I was like, the thrift store? He's like, yo, that's my grandpa's. And I was like, yo, does he want it back? He said, no. But this ain't the most attractive jacket. We see this jacket and we're like, this is not that cool. I really like that Dickies jacket that you showed earlier, God. This Dickies jacket that's over here, I'd rather wear that, or maybe the rain jacket or something. What God's got for you may not be the most attractive thing to society. It may not be the most beautiful thing, and everyone's going to be like, yo, that's an awesome jacket. I love what you're doing with your life. This looks so good on you. I love how you're doing it, living life in this thing. Not everyone's going to say that to this jacket. Not everyone's going to say that. Maybe my button's broken on one of them, The button's broken on one. But God has given you this. He said, hey, put this on. Put this on. Because I told you to put on compassion. I told you to put on kindness. I told you to put on humbleness. I told you to put on gentleness. And first and foremost, I told you to put love on. And that's exactly what this is. And that doesn't sound so attractive when he tells us this and we see it actually in play. We're like, really? You want me to put this on? You got rid of my super dope jacket and you want me to put this grandpa jacket on. God, what is this identity you're giving me? I'm not trying to get roasted at school alive. It's the same way in our lives. Sometimes being a Christian, you go get roasted. It happens. Happens to everybody. Sometimes being a Christian, the whole world's going to look at you a little different. Like, what is he doing? Like, why don't you just go get a better jacket? Like, bro, go and put something else on. It's because this is replacing everything that God said to put away. So your anger is going to replace the compassion. Your wrath is going to replace the kindness. Your malice is being replaced with humbleness. And your lying is going to be replaced with love. So we put this jacket on, even though it's not the coolest thing ever. Even though we're like, oh, okay, God, let me try this thing on. Let me see. Oh my goodness, does this even fit me? Like, does this even work, God? I don't know if this is actually my style. I don't know. You're like, hold up. You're like, hold up, God. Why did I fight you so hard to put this jacket on? Well, you've been telling me, I'm about to walk out the house. You said, hey, put this jacket on. And I'm fighting you so hard to put it on. And when you finally put the jacket on, when you actually put on what God's telling you to put on, when you actually put it on, you're like, oh, wait a second. This actually fits really good. This actually doesn't look as bad as I thought. This actually keeps me warm when I need it to be. This is actually a jacket that I can wear in any season. This is something that I can keep my identity in, because you're telling me to put off and to put on what you got for me in this identity. Even though it may not be the coolest thing in the world, even though people ain't going to hype me up about it or the trendiest, we have to remember we got to submit to what God has for us in our lives. We submit to God as God's chosen people. He has a plan for you. But if you are refusing to put on, if you're refusing to take off, then how are you supposed to accomplish what He's got for you? How are you supposed to do what He has for you in His life? We have to trust God and trust that the identity He's going to give us, the stuff that He's telling us to put on, is actually going to be great. It's actually going to be special. Something especially for you in your life. Now you're dressed in this new wardrobe, this new identity. When you finally put it on, you're like, man, this is feeling good. I feel great. I can wear this in every season. Every item of your new way of life is custom made and labeled by the Creator. And it has a label on it. It's saying, hey, you're chosen. You're chosen. You've got the kindness in you. I believe in you. You're not just all anger. You're not just a liar. You are so much more. You are so much more. He's telling you to put on this new self, this new identity, lives life, and it lives all of life for Jesus. When you put that new identity on, you're living your life for Jesus every single step of the way. And at times, I'll be honest with you, at times, you're going to get tired of wearing this. You're going to get tired of wearing the identity that you have in Christ. And you're going to look back like, oh man, I forgot how dope that jacket was actually. I forgot how cool and clean it looked. It is coming back into style. You know, maybe it might be worth it to try it on again. See if it still fits. To see if I can still, wear it. See what I can get into a little bit, Maybe I'll try it back on. You'll get tempted. There's temptations all around this world to go back to it. But we don't need to go back. We don't need to focus on what we got rid of, what we threw into the trash, because that's not who we are anymore. We put away and we put on God right here. This is our identity. This is our in Christ. Everything we are right now. We don't need to go back to what God has told us to put away. We need to keep on forward and go into what God has for us in our lives, in this new identity that we have, that thing that we put on, And I know you're going to be tempted to go back to what the world wants you to do. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's hard daily. I know it's hard every single day going to school. Going right back to people that, cussing and filthy language and all this other stuff. You're thinking, it's just one little bad word. What's going to hurt? It does so much more to you. It does so much more to you. Those little sins will make or break you. It'll make or break you. And living a life set apart isn't easy. But I promise you it's worth it. I promise you it's worth it for what God has for you in your future. Because God has so much more than just what you have right now. Our lens right now, we're only seeing what's going on right now in our life. We're seeing the pain. We're seeing how our friends and the culture is and everything. We want to fit in so bad. And our lenses, our perspective is just on this world, if we're being honest. The thing is, we need to switch our perspective to His purpose. To His purpose that He has for our lives. To the future that He has for you. To what He's going to use you for one day. One day you might even be up here preaching. One day you might be even leading a small group. One day you might even reach your whole entire school and do the church. But you're only focused on what's in front of you right now. And God's always asking, all God's saying, hey, switch your perspective. Switch your perspective. Let's take off. Let's put away the old and let's put on the new. Let's put on this new identity that I have for you and only you. And only you. I'm going back to that one verse. If you're serious about living this new life, act like it. If you're serious about wanting that new identity, act like it. That's all you gotta do. Act like it. And at the end of the day, every Christian, every person, every human has this one question to answer. Who will you identify with? The world or Jesus? So who will you identify with? Start thinking in your head right now. Who are you right now identifying with? If you find yourself, man, so much similar to all these in your life, acting like this, putting this out, maybe it's time to switch your perspective. Maybe it's time to switch your perspective. So if everyone's heads bowed, eyes closed, tonight, if you struggle with those little sins that God's telling you, hey, put away those. Put away those little sins. Put away the lying. Put away the wrath. Put away the anger. If you struggle with putting away, I want you to raise your hand. You can put it right back down, it's fine. Thank you for your confidence. Thank you. Maybe tonight too, you're like, Clarence, I'm ready to take that step. I'm ready to put away, and I'm ready to put on. I'm ready to put on what God has for me. If that's you tonight and you're ready to put on, I want you to raise your hand. That's awesome. With everyone's heads up, eyes open. Just had a feeling that I need to switch it up tonight. I was going to do something else, but we'll do this now instead. Hey, if you had your hand raised, I want you to come down to the front. Just go ahead, right now. Yep. We're being for real. Identity's no joke. Identity's no joke. We all struggle with it. Every day, trying to fit in. Trying to find the next thing to fill that void. Sometimes it's hard to actually put away this. Put away the anger. Because life sometimes makes you angry. But we need to put on. I have found in my life that when I focus on God's goodness, and I focus on how much He has gone through my life to get me through it, the compassion that He gives me, the forgiveness that He's given me, the love he's given me. It's so much easier to switch my perspective to his. It's so much easier.